So Monkey Business was the project I set myself for after that TI. I made it together with Tal. We were going to make a team, quickly talk to a few players at that TI, or not at the TI, sorry, right after the TI. I was thinking, like, I don't really want to do it anymore. I didn't really want to make a team. I didn't have the energy in me. It felt like, you know, starting all over again, and it might be even worse than Cloud9. It felt impossible. But then I saw some Miracle highlight video in the airport, and he was really good, it was really hype, and it kind of reinvigorated something in me to make this project, make this team. I really needed this guy to be part of the project as well. It has to be him, and we got created Moon Meander quickly after to join up on the project, and we qualified to the major. And you know, we went the whole way, open qualifier, lower bracket run type thing. But that was kind of the project, yeah. We had also been in Secret before this, so we decided, okay, now we're gonna make a team and we're gonna do it our way. We're gonna learn from the things we've learned, like take everything we've learned in the past and not let other people kind of dictate this team. It's gonna be me and you and me making the rules and setting the foundation. So I think the team also had a lot of leadership, as in it had a lot of guidance, which I think was pretty uncommon back then for teams to have. Yeah, so after we had qualified to the major, Frankfurt major, I don't think Monkey Business would have been the best thing to go into it with. I mean, it would have been fun, but I think we were hoping, I mean, already then, we were hoping and dreaming of a much longer project for all of us, like years, you know, things started feeling fun, we had the motivation, we had the fire. So Monkey Business was always temporary. OG was just the idea, you know, and it was, yeah, lots of different ideas, what it could have stood for. But at the end of the day, I think we found out it was, yeah, it's just best for it to be OG, and people can I mean, it's just an abbreviation, you can use different words for it, right? So around this time, after my days in Fnatic and my time also in Cloud9, like there was this era where a lot of player-run organizations were being made. I was also part of like one of the first, Team Secret. It wasn't supposed to be named Team Secret forever, but that just is what happened. If it would have happened to OG, if we didn't move from Monkey Business, it would have just been Monkey Business forever. But anyway, so we had, you have a lot of player-run organizations being made. And the reason is quite simple. It was the poor leadership, it was the poor actors, the bad actors in the space, making it impossible for players to kind of get a transparent, fair deal. I don't think players were anywhere near unreasonable back then. They were just asking for transparency and deals where if you win, I win type of thing. But the way, yeah, these bad actors were always working was that they were supposed to win, and it was supposed to be only for them to know and for them to benefit. So OG was made in the same spirit, that it's going to be a place for players to be able to come and play, and actually, you know, the truth about an organization being there for you to focus and make it easier. It has to stick true. But more than that is also just simple transparency, like not being lied to in the face. And if somebody tells you you can't know this, it has to be for good reason. I mean, maybe sometimes there is good reason, but there was a lot of deceit going on, and it was just getting very tiring, I think, for people to run loops and having to, yeah, kind of talk contracts for so long and then have to fight something so minor, and you're never really given the full story or told why. So players just said, screw it, and you know, they did it themselves. So OG is kind of the same spirit. So when we started, it was a very slow start, as in, yeah, it was transparent, but we didn't have any employees. We didn't have anybody, like really, it was a skeleton crew. There was really nothing going on, not many plans, and it went on like this for a long time in the first iteration of OG. We had some trouble disagreeing whether or not we needed to hire more people. I definitely think it was a must. I almost felt embarrassed because it was a shell of nothing. But it was very hard for me to kind of push that ideology that we need to hire more people and we will grow the cake, and eventually there'll be more employees, more things to do. Obviously, don't just hire a bunch of people that are going to do nothing. You have to make product, it has to be worth something, and so on. But it took a long time. It didn't happen until after 2018, until Birmingham. So I would say it was very unprofessional org in many senses, but at least we weren't dicks. But I think very quickly after 2018, many changes started happening in the company. It was now looking very different. It was a different company. I no longer had my partner. I no longer had the founder that I made this with. And now it was time to, you know, do something new. I do speak about this also in the book. So if you do want to get more information, you know where to find it. So I didn't really know Seb much at first before he joined. We had just won a major, and then it was Shanghai major. We had lost terribly. This year, everybody was getting a coach. Like all the teams were getting on board with the coach idea. At first, we weren't sure if it's just a meme, like can the sixth person be of use? I mean, for me, of course, the sixth person can be of use if it's the right person. Even 10 people can be of use if it's the right people, but it gets harder and harder, I think. But yeah, we eventually agreed that a coach sounds like a good idea. It probably won't harm to try it. I mean, we just have to be aware of the person we're getting and how much power to give them. We obviously have a good system. We're basically already coaching the team, Tal and me. So, you know, let's think long and hard and let's try and do this right. Sebastian comes up as the best candidate. It's a bit of a, I wouldn't say whim. I mean, we know each other from competition. We've known each other for years through competition, but none of us really know each other personally. We haven't really shared many conversations at all, not much about the game. So we speak a bit, feels good. Okay, let's bring him to the bootcamp for Manila Major. Let's try this. And he meets us in Stockholm. I think we have I don't remember if we have a tournament there or just a boot camp, but I think we were playing either online qualifier or maybe it's an offline LAN. He comes to coach us anyway. And the first day he's in the room, me and Moon have a big fight, and I kind of have like one of my few times I snap where I get really mad. It's happened very few times in my life, and I think it takes something very special to get it out of me. But Moon was, in my opinion, acting in very bad faith in our game, and I took it also pretty poorly, but it was like, he was good at pushing buttons. Anyways, Seb is kind of in the room for the first hour, and he just sees me exploding on my teammate. So I think he was probably thinking, oh shit, what the hell is going on here, you know? Either work's cut out for him or it's already a disbanded team. Is there even a team anymore? But yeah, all good, all worked out, and quickly Seb, he obviously proves himself as a coach because we crushed the Manila Major, and a lot of it's to do with him. Yeah, so our first introduction, maybe not so good, but other than that, it was smooth sailing. How important is Seb to me? I mean, he's very important to me. I was his best man at his wedding. Yeah, I mean, it's very special when you find people in your life that you get to share certain moments with. I've shared lots of these moments with Seb, so I think we're both happy we met. I like to think. I mean, in many senses, with every victory I think you get as a competitor, you'll feel some amount of vindication. A lot was going on for me when we won the first major. I think, yeah, vindication is a good word. It was also for me, I could justify the time I had spent, and finally also a level of financial security I never had before, because until this moment I was sleeping on the couch still. So it came with also relief. I mean, it came with many things. But yeah, a huge part is also as a competitor to feel that you are competent, you know, to get that proof that you know what it takes to win, you know how to do it, you're not dumb, you're not this, you're not that, you're not bad. So it was huge, but at the same time, it was not why we were playing, it was not why I was playing, it was not the majors. It was the world championship always. It's to be the best in the world, it's to win that tournament that only one gets to win every year and that you've lost already and it's so difficult and so on. So it felt good, obviously, but it was not the ultimate goal. It was not the end goal. Winning the first TI and also the way we did, it's definitely like an arm pinch moment. You have to think, is it real? It's too good to be true, no way. I mean, we were rated last by most people, open qualifier team. I think a lot of people were always dismissive of me ever since I had started playing in OG, and that was because I don't know, I think it's some mental thing with success and playing with other star players. But anyways, people had been very quick to dismiss me as a carry player, and now they thought maybe I was going to suck even more because I'm a support player or whatever, like I have to switch roles. So it was, I mean, talk about vindication, talk about like all these types of emotions. TI8 brought, I think, everything for me, but it also brought me an incredible amount of ecstasy, like professional ecstasy, of seeing my team put in the effort, seeing myself put in the effort, seeing all hard-learned lessons paying off, seeing how being a better person, trying to be a better person can pay off, seeing how patience can pay off, you know, all these things, and also, you know, impatience, because things had to be, in some sense, really perfect for us. And people really had to excel and go out of themselves for us to get that victory. And I really mean it, like they had to go beyond who they normally are They had to be nicer than they normally are. They had to speak about things they normally would never dare speak about. You had to break taboos. We had to do so many things together in a very short amount of time for us. And for that to work, for that to have worked, I mean, it was really, yeah, again, it was hard to believe. It filled me with tons of great emotions. And I got to walk away after this TI with the stamp of approval from myself, to myself, that you know what it takes. You're not stupid. I would say the second TI felt almost as good. Some things felt better. Some things I valued more. Some things I definitely think were better. Our Dota was better. We dominated this TI a lot more. Like, that was a big dream of mine, to also have, this TI3 Alliance run where you feel unstoppable. We were obviously challenged still at times as TI. You'll never get through it without some challenge. But I always felt we had so much left in the tank. We didn't burn out this one at all. Like, the first one, there was almost nothing left in the tank when we were done with it. But here, we could play TI again and the same result. Like, we would lay everybody down. No problem, nothing would stop us. So that TI felt better in this sense, in some professional sense. Obviously, it's hard to top what we felt TI8, and also to repeat that storyline. Now, it was a bit different, people dismissed us, but they didn't dismiss us the same, like not nearly the same. We were not rated last type of thing. So, not the same as TI8, but very, very good nonetheless, almost as good. What do I want my legacy to be? Well, I think my legacy, a big part of it is already taking shape, is that teams are acting on the principles that we also picked up on. I don't think we invented anything. I just think that we learned something ourselves that we could have maybe learned from some books. We could have learned that looking at sports. We did learn a lot of this through sports psychology from other sports, or a lot of the times we were also reaffirmed. But a lot of these things that, yeah, we picked up on as a group, as individuals, Seb and me especially, I see it in other teams now. I see what they're doing. I see that they've watched our documentaries. I see that they have followed us very closely, and that they're now, I don't think they're just mimicking, but they're also trying to understand, what is this? Why is this? These guys want to win, it looks like. Why do they act the way they do? So I think my legacy is people learning from us and our ways, because I think the way is very beautiful, because it will make you a better person, it will make you a better teammate, and it will make your teammate a better teammate, and the people around you better and more understanding, and you will all learn together and feel together. So that's what I really want my legacy to be. Honestly, I think I just want to be remembered as someone who sometimes funny, not all the time, and really is not that serious. Someone who doesn't think things are that serious at the end of the day. That's just what I would like, but then again, I don't really care too much. So yeah, small desire maybe, tiny. No final message, just a big thank you. Thank you to my mom, to my dad, and my friends, and my teammates, and everybody else.